Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach, and today I'm talking about how to make your avoidant ex regret leaving. So first of all, I just want to go into my personal belief and philosophy around attachment theory, because this is obviously talking about avoidance. It's like an attachment theory kind of video. We're using sort of that terminology, the attachment theory terminology. So my advice when it comes to all kinds of these sort of attachment styles is pretty much the same, okay? And the reason why that is that because I believe that what I teach just it shows the best techniques with human behavior, no matter what kind of human that human is, right? So whatever their attachment style is. So the advice that I give is a good all-rounder for all attachment styles. And I believe that we act and behave in a certain way, and if you know about the things that I talk about, then you can apply it to everybody. Okay, so first of all, though, I want to talk about people that avoid things, because obviously, if you're dealing with someone who is an avoidant, then they avoid certain things, especially when it comes to romantic relationships, because they're people who avoid things usually don't wear their heart on their sleeve. They usually keep things very close to their chest, okay? But I don't think there's any excuse to be someone who avoids communicating clearly, and avoids basically owning up to how they feel. I know it can be very difficult for some people to be open and honest, especially if they're from my country, England, right? English people are very, very reserved. But it's weird because I've never really felt that way about myself. Like when it comes to the way that I feel like I've always been very, very open. I remember being a very early age and telling my parents that I love them so much, and it just seems like there's like this stereotype with British people that we're not very good at being open and things like that. But it's just not something that it's ever really made sense to me. But either way, right? How to make your avoidant ex regret leaving is basically no contact. No contact is always the key. When it comes to when you've been dumped and someone has left you, there's nothing you can do, okay? Even if you're dealing with an avoidant, okay? So the best thing that you can do is to do no contact. Now, if a lot of people think, well, if my ex is an avoidant person, and they don't want to engage with me, then I need to do something. Then I need to break no contact and try and fix things. But the thing is, right, is if you are really dealing with someone who is stubborn and has got this sort of like avoidant personality type, then you should let them go. Because if you're the one that's always going to have to apologize, if you're the one that's always going to fix things because they're too stubborn and they can't, and they're too much of an avoidant to own up to their mistakes, to own up to the fact that they still miss you, then that's the kind of person that you don't want to be with. You don't want to be with someone who doesn't know how to communicate like an adult. Right? If they miss you, they should say that they miss you. If they regret the breakup, they should come to you and tell you that they regret the breakup. They should try and be trying to fix things. They may not, well, no one may specifically say that they regret the breakup to you, but they should at least put themselves back into your orbit and be like, hey, how are you? Asking to meet up with you. They may not, verbally say those words like, I regret leaving you or I miss you, but they'll show in other ways. They'll test the waters first. They'll be like messaging you and calling you up and asking to hang out. So, but when you're dealing with an avoidant who, let's say, will never say those things because they're too stubborn to, or because it's just not my personality, then you don't want to be with someone like that, because that means if you do get back together, then you're the one that's always going to have to be fixing things when they fuck up, essentially, right? And you don't want to be with someone like that. You're always gonna have to be the one that's picking up the pieces because they can't be asked, or because it's not my personality, right? Whatever, You don't want to be. It's so much hard work. You're better off if you find someone else, right? Who does know how to communicate, who can own up to their mistakes, who will admit if they miss you, who will admit if they want to see you, and will tell you how they feel about you. Because that's just going to make your life so much more easier, so much more difficult when you're with someone so stubborn like that. It's like, oh God. Anyway, but anyway, no contact is the key. It's always the key when it comes to exes, especially if they're the one that dumped you and you didn't want the breakup to happen. Okay? Let them go, because no amount of you talking to them is going to change their mind. Okay? And even if it does, and let's say they've left you because they want to teach you a lesson, or they want to test to see how you feel about them, then what that is called is manipulation, and you don't want to be with someone who manipulates either, right? Because some people like say to me, like, oh yeah, but what if they broke up with me because they want to see if I care? Manipulation. You don't want to be with someone who breaks up with you or threatens the end of the relationship because they want to see that you care. That's ridiculous and so toxic. I know toxic gets thrown around a lot, but that really is toxic. That is manipulation down to the core, right? No one should be threatening the end of the relationship just because they want to see if you care. That's something that teenagers do and children do. It's ridiculous, right? And it frustrates the hell out of me when I see someone doing that. It's just no, bad. Okay, not good. That's not a good thing to do. If you're upset and you're unhappy with the person that you're with, you should just say to them, okay, look, I don't feel very loved by you right now, or I'm not getting the affection that I want, or be honest. That's how that person should be saying. Like, for whatever reason, if they do something like that, then they feel like for whatever reason you don't care. So what they need to do is to be an adult and say, look, I feel like you don't really care about this relationship right now. And I would just really like to spend some more time with you. Or I'd really like to see you do this, that, and the other to show me that you care. And that's what an adult would do, right? But obviously some people still act like they're like 50 years old and they still act like they did at school. And they're like, I'm going to break up with you if you don't do this. It's like, nah. Or I'm leaving. And they're hoping that you're going to chase after them. Manipulation. Okay? So what you want to be doing then, in your free time, now that you're not in that relationship anymore, and if you do want to make them regret leaving, then one of the best things you can do is to, I talk about it all the time, but create an awesome life for yourself. You know, figure out how you would ideally like your life to be, and then try to make that a reality. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to grab some paper and pen and think about where you would like to be in, let's say, like 5 years time. Like, what kind of house would you like to have? What kind of car do you want to be driving? What kind of friends do you want to be having? How would you like to be living your day-to-day life? You know, what would your career look like? What would your finances look like? And just think about what would your body look like? You know, think about all those things and then try to make that a reality, right? Because even though you may not get everything, even if you may not be in 5 years time living that dream life, 100%, you'll still be way better off and way closer to it than if you never tried at all. So you might as well. I mean, you know what? The time is going to pass. No matter what happens, the time is always going to pass. So you might as well be using the time to try and make a great life for yourself. Because like I said, even if you don't get everything you want by your deadline, by 5 years time, you're still going to be way better off than all those other people that don't try. And you would still be way better off than for yourself if you never tried, right? If you just stayed the same. Because how would it feel in 5 years time if you're still in exactly the same place? How would it feel in 10 years time if you're still in exactly the same place? And for most people, they would be pretty unhappy if they were still in the same place and nothing had changed in their lives. So try and make some changes, because the only way you can get your life to change and to have a better life is for you to change. You need to be changing what you're doing. You know, there's that famous quote that goes, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So if you're living the same day in, day out all the time and you want your life to change, I've got a newsflash for you. It's not going to change, or not much change is going to happen, right? So if you want things to change, you've got to change what you're doing. Right? Maybe you wake up a little bit earlier, go for a run, or maybe you go to bed a little bit later and you work on your business, your side business, whatever it may be. Or, you know, perhaps you do something different on the weekends. You know, you go out and you meet new friends because you want to have a better social circle or whatever it may be. You know, that's what you got to be aiming for. You want to be, but what is important here is that you got to be creating an awesome life for you. I'm just using examples here. You know, the best life for you, for example, maybe that you want to be just spending your days on the beach, reading philosophy books. Maybe that's something that you want to be doing. Maybe that's how you would ideally like to be living your life. You know, maybe that's your perfect lifestyle. I don't know what it is for you. So you got to figure out how you want your life to be and then try and make that a reality. But you got to be doing it for you. Don't be doing it because you think, oh yeah, this is the thing that's going to make my ex the most jealous, or make my ex regret leaving me the most. You want to be creating an awesome life for yourself. You don't want to be creating a life that you think other people are going to be thinking is awesome. You got to do things for you so that you feel great and good about yourself, and you feel confident and awesome. Okay, so you gotta, so the whole nutshell about the avoidant thing, okay, is that it's probably for your benefit that you're no longer in a relationship with someone who avoids talking about their feelings, avoids communication. It's probably for your benefit that they're no longer in your life. Because, like I said, if you're someone who is quite open about their communication, who can own up to, okay, you know, I want this in the relationship, I'm sorry I did this. You know, if you're really good at that and you're with someone who's terrible at that, it's just going to make you the one that's always apologizing and always picking up the pieces. And that's not a relationship that you should want for yourself. It's definitely not a relationship that I would want for you. And I genuinely do want the best for everyone who watches my videos. I want you to have great lives. I want you to be living abundantly. I want you to be in the most happiest relationships ever, you know. And if you would like help attracting if you're a man watching this, or a lesbian or bisexual woman, or if you're just a woman who is hoping to pick up some new skills and understand relationships and attraction and stuff, then I highly recommend that you go and get my book, Attracting the Beautiful Woman of Your Dreams. It's under 100 pages, so it's not a very long read. It's got a discreet spine, so you can have it on your bookshelf and no one's going to know what it is. If you want to, you can also read it for free on my website. You can get the physical copy on Amazon, or you can read it for free on my website. There's no sign up, there's no login. All you have to do is just go on my website and click on the tab that says the book. It'll be in the menu, and also be in the menu at the bottom of the website landing page. Like I say, you don't need to log in, you don't need to give me your email address, you don't need to do anything. You can just literally read it straight away and get the benefits of it straight away. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. If you would also like coaching with me, then you can also go to www.christinelovage.com and click on coaching, and you can pick whichever option is best for you at this current time. And I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.